Do you really know what you would do in that situation? Do you really have faith? And I'm sure there's probably going to be a lot of you right now that are going to tell me that you totally would do this, you would totally do that if someone confronted you in with a knife. I've been asked a lot about knife defense, and there's a couple of things that have been in the news lately which I'm going to comment on. Let me know what your thoughts are on these two situations. There was a guy in the States in the middle of broad daylight presented with a knife. This guy has some form of training. He stands like a boxer, so he has some form of training. The problem is he does try to tackle the guy with the knife. Now, the problem with this is that he ends up unfortunately losing his life. Should he have done something different? My personal opinion is yes. I'm sure there's going to be a lot of keyboard warriors out there that want to say, I would definitely do this, I would definitely do that. But the truth of the matter is, you have no idea what you're going to do until you are presented with that situation. Second situation is every parent on the planet is probably going to say, if they touch my kids, I would do this, that, or the other. And I've totally been guilty of that. In, I think it's France, there was a guy literally just walking around the park trying to stab little kids. It's ridiculous. Unbelievable. Did they really expect that? Absolutely not. Did some of them become completely useless because of the shock of the situation? Yes. Many years ago in the UK, you had the Dunblane massacre, where a teacher sacrificed her own life to protect some of the children in the class. She probably didn't realise that she was going to do that, and if she was asked would she sacrifice her life, she probably would have to think about that before she answered it. But the fact of the matter is, she actually did do that. These people in France probably want to protect their children like they, you know, who wouldn't? Who wouldn't say yes to the fact that I would protect my children with my life, my grandchildren, you know? But the truth of the matter is, the reality of these situations is they're horrific and horrendous. But do you really know what you're going to do in that situation? No. I don't think anybody can really say that, yes, I would definitely do this or definitely do that. I've been training in the martial arts ever since I was 7. I'm 51 years old. I've done some sort of martial arts ever since then. Would I tackle somebody with a knife? I can't say that I wouldn't. I'd hope that, you know, I would be sensible enough. And it comes down to sensible. Am I going to go home? Am I going to die in this situation? Am I going to get severely wounded? The likelihood is yes, if you're dealing with a knife. I'd like to think that I would just walk away and I would just not do anything. Would the stubborn person in me do something? I hope not. But I can't really say wholeheartedly what I would do. I hope I would just walk away. I hope that in that situation in the States, where it was in broad daylight, in the middle of the street, one guy, he's a big guy to be fair, has got a knife in his hand. The other guy is a little slimmer, and he's obviously done some sort of boxing. Ends up losing his life because he tries to take this guy with a knife. I'd like to think that in that situation, I would just like, whoa, you know, mate, yeah, whatever you want, I would take a step back. Perhaps that guy's thinking is that, you know, he's not really thinking. Maybe he's just thinking, right, I've got to try and stop. And at one point, and you know, I'll try and put the clip up for you, but at one point there is a woman that walks in the way and all of a sudden goes, you know, what are you doing? She literally walks into this sort of situation where a guy with a knife is attacking a guy who is unarmed. But anyway, I digress. I suppose really my point is, I don't think anybody really knows what they would or wouldn't do in any given situation. What I do know is that the more prepared you are, the better your chances. So when you're talking about self-defense, regardless of whether it's a knife attack or whether somebody is just trying to attack you with their fists, the more prepared you are, the better off you're going to be. So if you currently don't do any sort of martial arts, I suggest you start. And I suggest that if you feel vulnerable when you go out, one of the reasons is you're not confident. Doing a martial art will boost your confidence. So start something. It doesn't really matter what martial art you start, because that will boost your confidence. The more prepared you are, the better off you're going to be.